Welcome back, it's Dan Veall here for another review for Guitar Interactive Magazine. We are here with the EBS Classic Session 60 watt bass combo. This little number here is a mere 16 kilos, an easy one-man lift. We've got a handle on the top. This is a great little combo. Been having a bit of a play on it before we started doing the review. It's got a nice little kick back to it, so you can use it as a monitor as well as standing up as it is at the moment. For the purpose of the review, we've mic'd up the front and we've got a DI out on the back as well, a balanced output. Let's jump straight in, have a look at the controls and have a listen to what the amp can do. Okay, so first on the left-hand side, as always, our guitar input jack, and right next to that we've got a character button. This is a pre-shaped control, so it's scooping out some middle, adding some bottom and treble at the same time. Just to give you a bit of a fatter, more scooped sound from this smaller cabinet. Again, we've got a gain control on the left-hand side, much like a lot of amplifiers, so we can set up the level of your bass just so the little input peak light flickers every now and then. Next along, we've got a bass control, treble control, and the next button along here is an enhance button. I like this function a lot because at the moment with it switched off you have just a bass and treble boost and cut. And when you engage the control, when you boost the treble, it also starts boosting some of the mids as well. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. It's a nice touch to an amplifier. Moving along straight away, we've got auxiliary inputs for your iPod, drum machine, CD player, or whatever your recording gear is, so you can actually play a signal in and then practice along to some source material. A level control next to that, so you don't have to mess around with the iPod itself with the volume control. You can control it on top of the amp as well. Finally, master volume control. And we have a earphone output for private rehearsal, so you don't annoy the neighbours, because this is actually quite a loud little amp. And then finally, on the right-hand side, power LED, we've got the balanced DI output on the back here, and the ground lift to try and remove buzzes and things like that going through to, say, a PA desk or something like that. We've found already that this is dead silent. We're not having any buzzes, so that's a really good thing for the EBS amp. Right, let's have a listen to it straight away. At the moment, the settings are kind of around 12 o'clock. All of the enhancers and character button is disengaged. So let's have a listen to what it sounds like. Quite a middly sort of sound there. It's a small cabinet, so that's to be expected. However, there is a little beast to be unleashed in here. Let's engage that character control and hopefully you'll hear the difference straight away. The cab seems to sound double the size. Engaged in. A little bit of B string action. Now I can actually see the front grille on this moving. There's a lot of bottom end coming off of this. I don't know if you can hear it through the microphone. It sounds really good in the room. So let's just disengage that for the moment. We'll just go back to flat settings so we can have a look at the other controls. Gain control, as standard, we're just turning it up and down just to find the right level so we don't get the peak LED flashing too much to say that we're overdriving the amp. At the moment, it's just borderline. I think I'm getting some flickering when I dig in. That's not really a problem. If it stays on all the time, much like any other amp, you want to back that down a bit. Okay, we're going to have a look at the bass control now. It's really sensitive. I'm going to just play my E string and then I'll bring it up a little bit and then you can have a listen again and I'll keep boosting it until we max it out and just see what that sounds like. So this is at about 12 o'clock. Let's come up about a quarter of the way. Much fuller sound straight away. Even on the B string, vibrating through the chair actually. Let's max it out. I would expect when I do this, the peak LED, which is just out of view at the moment, is going to flicker quite a lot because all of the controls interact with each other. I'll play a bit lighter. You can see the grill moving. For a 60-watt amp, that sounds really good, actually. I'm really impressed. Let's move along to the treble control. Oh, one thing worth mentioning here, this is a nice touch. Like some active basses, you get to 12 o'clock and there's a center detent. It actually stops, so you know where your 12 o'clock position is. Really nice touch for a small combo. Again, the treble is exactly the same. So we'll start at 12 o'clock. Again, E string. Come up. Nice and crisp sound. Harmonics are sounding really loud, really nice. I can hear the tweeter kicking in. Let's go up to maximum. Again, very nice, very crisp. I can back them both down at the same time. Now that has the same effect as boosting the mids. So you could bring your volume control up and that will enhance the mids by backing the treble and bass down. Really effective for more staccato type bass lines. Let's move on quickly to the enhanced control. So I'm going to just go back to 12 o'clock. We're going to engage this control. Now, at 12 o'clock, it's not making any difference because we're not boosting or cutting the treble at all. And as we start to boost or cut, it's going to start boosting and cutting the mids at the same time. So up we go. So a quarter of a turn, I'm going to turn it off now so you can hear the difference. On again. Again, that's a really nice control. I think mixing that with the character control at the same time will give this amp a really wide and varied amount of different tones you can get from it, especially if you're playing different basses which themselves have different characters. So let's do that. Let's put both on at the same time. Really big fat sound. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's just turn those back off again. Back to 12 o'clock. Obviously, we don't have anything to plug into the auxiliary. I think you can pretty much guess what that's going to do. Obviously, that'll feed out to your earphones at the same time so you can have silent practice and listen to your iPod. And that pretty much wraps it up for all the controls on the top. Finally, to mention that the front grille will come off and you can see the speaker and the tweeter behind it. Obviously, if you want to clean it or anything like that, you can do that. Carry handle, kickback handle, 16 kilos. 60 watt, very nice little amp. That is the end of the review. Thanks very much for watching.